such a brilliant moment. It was so fantastic. Welcome, Michael.
Oh, it's lovely to be here.
Oh, it's always really lovely to have you on the show. You know, we have lots of Welsh guests, but I do think you are the most passionate and patriotic of the lot.
The loudest.
Do you think you're getting more patriotic as you get older?
I think I am, yeah. I think when I was younger, I didn't really question it. You know, I just went off to drama school, came to London, didn't really think about it. Didn't even think of myself as being Welsh until I wasn't in Wales.
Yeah.
You know, and then you realise, oh, not everyone says, come and have a cwtch, and that, you know, like all the things that you sort of take for granted. And then as I, you know, kept going and then went to America, I sort of started to feel it even more, the pull, you know, how much Wales had formed me, how much where I came from had made me who I am and what I care about.
I think you're absolutely right. The minute you're not in it every day, you really understand how important it is to you and to the person that you are. You've hobnobbed with lots of famous people, you know, Hollywood, all the rest of it, as you said. But is Port Talbot still your favourite place?
Oh, and there's nowhere like it. Nowhere like it. Because we are so made fun of, and, you know, the famous thing about Port Talbot, because of the steelworks, and there used to be a chemical plant there as well, and the industry, you know, and the motorway, just the M4 goes straight through it.
Yeah.
For people on their way to sunnier climes, off to the Gower coast or on the other direction to Cardiff, you know, you go through, you go past Port Talbot, you sort of overlook it, and people say, oh, it's that smelly, dirty place that you go past. Now we, who live down in the grime,
don't feel like that.
No, so it gives you a special kind of sense of the place, I think, and the spirit of people there is brilliant. The sense of humour is brilliant. Now that I live back there as well, you know, it's such a strange mix of worlds where, you know, one day I'm on a film set or I'm with, you know, whoever, and then the next day I'm shopping in Ystrad and people are coming up to me and, you know, yeah.
But the only thing is, does it take absolutely ages to do your big shop?
It does. It actually does. I was... my partner Anna reminds me of this all the time. There was one day when I was walking down the freezer aisle, and I wasn't getting anything for me. I was looking for frozen peas or nuggets for the kids.
Right.
And I just happened to be near where the ice cream was. And a woman came up to me and said, oh, in the ice cream aisle, typical you. I said, excuse me, madam, do I know you?
What does that mean?
That's the sort of thing I have to deal with. And then other times, people will come up to me and go, excuse me, Michael, our favourite film of yours is Underworld. Now, I play a character in Underworld called, who's a werewolf, a lycan called Lucian.
Yes.
And our favourite film of you is Underworld. And I even named our little boy, Lucian, come here! Lucian, come and meet him! Come on! And then the little boy comes out, and then they go, and I've had a tattoo. I'm like, excuse me, put your bits away, man.
Yeah, I'm just doing my shop,
I'm trying to get some chicken nuggets.
So your dad, right, so, you know, he worked in the steelworks, which Port Talbot is famous for a short time, but then he did lots of other sort of jobs, didn't he? Dabbled in show business.
You could call it dabbling.
Dabbling. Was he good at impressions?
He became a lookalike. At a certain point in his life, people started coming up to him and saying, you don't have to look like Jack Nicholson. Had no idea the impact this was going to have on his life. He spent decades being a lookalike of Jack Nicholson, doing jobs all over the world, and it kind of changed his life, really. So it was amazing, that. But, I mean, he was a frustrated performer, really, my dad, and he would have loved to have been an actor, I think, but what I always said, what he lacked in specificity, he made up for in commitment. He gave it, in the true Welsh way, he gave it 150%.
My gosh. But then, you see, you've gone on to play actual real people as well, so you might have had it from your dad.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Now, in terms of stories, though, for the kids, because you've got little kids, same age as mine, you must be incredible at a bedtime story.
Well, all my children, so I've got a much older daughter who's 25 now, and then Lyra, who'll be 5 in September, and Mably, who's 2. They've all Mably hasn't done it yet, but I'm sure she will. There comes a point where they say, I'm putting so much work into characters and voices, and I'm trying to make the story. And eventually they go, Daddy, don't do the voice.
Don't do the voice.
It's too much. It's too much,
right.
I think I go too far at it.
Because like your dad, you've got the commitment,
150% commitment, even if it's a bedtime story.
And you mentioned your partner, Anna, who's Swedish. Now, she got a little bit kind of confused, didn't she, with the way we in Wales say goodbye. We say ta-ra.
Ta-ra. She thought that Wales was full of people doing magic tricks. Because she thought they were going ta-da! And she didn't understand. I mean, there's a lot of things she found quite confusing. I mean, the extraordinary thing is, really, I suppose, that the Swedes are possibly the exact opposite of the Welsh. The Swedes don't do small talk. They're quite reserved. All we do
like
is
a
small
chat.
talk.
Yeah,
All we do. There is nothing else. So it's very much a culture clash for her.
Well, Michael, diolch yn fawr. Maybe we should say ta-da!
Ta-da!
Ta-da! And it's time for me to say ta-da!